ladies and gentlemen, let us get together and discuss Fast and the Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw, of course starring Dwayne Johnson and Jason Statham. Reprising characters they made famous in the Fast and the Furious films where they played Hobbs and Shaw. Now, of course, these two gentlemen don't seem to be on the same page. They just don't seem to get along, but they're going to have to because they are coming together to save the world. Now, of course, at the center of this whole world-saving expedition is a supervillain played by Idris Elba, who is really, really intense and scary, but still fun in this film. He calls himself Black Superman. Not a spoiler, that's in the trailer. Now, of course, with the Fast and the Furious movies, we are used to these over-the-top action sequences and, of course, really fast cars and things of that nature. And that is definitely all on full display in this film. What this film is missing, however, is a lot of the original cast, including Vin Diesel. Thank you for that. Now, of course, The Rock and Jason Statham have this intense rivalry, and it's just really fun to see it play out on screen. One of the things that makes this movie really enjoyable is the fact that when they're shooting scenes together, they just seem to be so natural with each other. Now, of course, as we've seen with several of the Fast and the Furious installments, the action is just so over the top. And once you get to the actual core of the story, that's where there's issues. Without giving anything away, there's a lot of challenges that I had with this movie from a continuity standpoint. There are things that just didn't add up. Probably simply enough, the fate of the world comes down to two people. No backup, really, just essentially these two guys. Again, going back to the trailer, we see that the story is able to incorporate Dwayne Johnson's Samoan heritage, which is great. We've got some backstory on what's going on with Jason Statham's Shaw character, which is fun to see as well. And without giving anything away, we have not one but two exceptional cameos in this film. Overall, the movie's enjoyable, but at 2 hours and 50 minutes, I found that it dragged on a little bit. I found that you get to the point where, okay, the jokes between the two main characters are just getting a little old. And I just felt that if they tightened up the story piece a little more, I would have enjoyed it. But they call this an action movie, but with Jason Statham, The Rock, and Idris Elba all featuring in it, how is this not a chick flick? Like, guys, if you ask a girl to go and see this movie and she says no, it's not because she doesn't want to see the men on screen. She just doesn't like you. Like, this movie is going to do, I think it's going to do very well because it appeals to such a wide range of audiences. That being said, at its core, not the best, definitely not the best in the franchise. It's opened up for the potential of more films, and I'd like to see where it goes, but I'd like to see a better story. I actually give this movie a C+. Not a terrible movie by any stretch of the imagination, but just another film in a summer where when you take out the Disney films like Lion King, Avengers, Toy Story, it hasn't been that overwhelming, and this movie doesn't do anything to change that. So Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw gets a C+ from me. If you see it, I'd love to know what you think. CFL_fan on Twitter, Facebook.com/WittyWhittier and WittyWhittier.com. Thank you so much for checking this out. My name is Keith. I'll see you at the movies.